instead. Snooze, I won't, I can't lose, really rest or a bed. Do what you can to do, make your next move your best. I do this for the family, I might just flow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jury the cold is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes.
Camara Drive-In. It's a coach. You're set for Madden football on EA Sports. Coming up, 2017 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Alvin Kamara. Fresh off a big performance a week ago, as it'll be the New Orleans Saints taking on the Seattle Seahawks. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we're actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On first down, it's Watson. And Thomas has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening. 2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Now it's Watson, forced out to his left. Now he'll pull it down. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down. And a look now at the offense for New Orleans.
And they're coming off a good win on the road last week, but they do know that they have a home game next week. So all the focus has to be, can they get a second win on the road and make going home that much sweeter? That's the intention in this ball game.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 23 yards the pickup there.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Well, look now at our starting defense. They enter play here 24th in the league against the run.
One thing you do know, they'll be fired up because they're facing a top 5 rushing attack. And even if they have early success against them, they got to remember they got to sustain it, because teams that are top 5, they don't stop running the ball if they don't get things done early.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Watson dancing to his left. Touchdown! And the New Orleans Saints put 6 up on the board. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And You see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Lutz with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. That time, a 9-play drive. And the final act belonged to Deshaun Watson and his touchdown run. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
So first and 10 now from the 30. They go play action with Wilson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
And this team is coming in off of their open week, and to me, a pretty good time to have it, too, because it's pretty much right in the middle of the season. So I would think that they'll be pretty well rested and ready to go for the second half of the season. But even more importantly, they got a little bit of a mental break as well. That's going to help, too.
Mike 54. Mike 54.
On third down, Wilson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. Second and 10 coming up.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Gets it up around the 22, but no further. Did flash the fancy footwork, but not much to show for it.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, first and 10. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
On first down, Wilson. Open man is Jacob Hollister. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's second and 4. Here's Travis Homer, the former Miami Hurricane. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38.
I can't believe we let you play. I can't believe it.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now 1 in the first quarter. What do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move, but the best pass rushers, they have counters to their go-to move. So they'll show you that. Then when you adjust, they counter it and still get to the quarterback. And you don't pile up that many sacks. What do you have, 4 in the game last week? Without having some go-to moves with counters. It looked good when it left his foot, but he kind of sliced it a little bit, and he winds up missing it wide right.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. The Saints with a football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The Saints with a football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Derrick Henry. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit, but how about the comeback? I mean, he came back from beating cancer and getting back to Pro Bowl level, one of the best players in the game.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now a first down throw. Watson. Screen play. Johnson. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On the counter, here's Kamara.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. David Johnson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They'll run this with Homer. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
This is Homer. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Eli Apple up from his corner spot to make the play. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Now Wilson gets it to Gordon.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in Another zone. Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. To throw is Wilson. To throw on third down. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Cameron Jordan, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. With good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw is Watson. And Josh Hill has it. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we got to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it. I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it. You mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that they've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage.
After review of the play,
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Wilson. That's caught by Hollister. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Wilson now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Throwing again here, Wilson. The pass complete to Ryan Grant. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Will Dissly, as the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Watson. Thomas has got it, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Here we go, D. All day. Defense, all day. All day.
The final shot before the break. Watson airing it out deep for Smith. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached the intermission. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside. Probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
Now Wilson on third down. And he's got Lockett. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Wilson now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. Now Wilson on first down. It's complete to Lockett. He'll be hit down at the 33. 5 yards on the play. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Going on the ground with Homer. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They're having issues right now getting that running game going.
I wonder if maybe adopting some of the college run game would help here. Because we're still at that stage where you have a bunch of guys saying, I don't know about what the colleges do. And the college stuff is working in the NFL. Bigger line splits, create some more natural running lanes. Might help the offensive linemen get better angles in their blocking schemes.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from the first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Here we go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Watson now to throw. Looking here for Smith downfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to?
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the offense will take over. with a new set of downs. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game, but that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Defense.
They'll step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
Now left side on the swing pass.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Check 13. Check 13.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or two.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through it.
So here are the Saints to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well.
Here we go, G. Get off the field.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27th. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They run. It's Kamara. And, boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Cleveland. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. The Seahawks on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Cameron Jordan, and the Saints will have the football back. The D brought the house, they called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want, they go right to the blitz, and in this case, they nailed it, got right to the quarterback, no chance on that 4th down.
The first down run got 5, here's 2nd and 5. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And they'll get him down here at the 23. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do you have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A very solid gain of 27.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
But I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
So the solid run on first, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that 2nd down play.
No, it's all in your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking. Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there. Gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Latavius Murray, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop. Right at the line. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. Now it's Wilson. Got Gordon open, completes it. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, and he finds a man with a crossing route. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Here's Wilson to throw. Left side complete to Lockett. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Throwing is Wilson. Short pass to the tight end, Hollister. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play. And that's going to lead him to fourth down. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. One last shot for Wilson. And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So with just a few ticks left, they need a miracle. And the Saints are going to get to this one, so that should about do it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for New Orleans, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they will head back home next week.
family, I might just flow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry coat is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Pepper stuff the ass like y'all don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way before the deal. Say this one for your photo reel. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. I do it for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I keep it in the I'm giving it soldier chills. My jewelry coat is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Let's go. First off the edge like I don't know no feel. See that pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh baby, my credit's so
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when I tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle this. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the jets. The coach regret even letting them stay in the game. See my route took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. Honey, y'all dash. Honey, y'all dash. Honey, y'all dash. Honey, y'all dash. Honey, y'all dash.
Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
P-P-P-Love, time to bring the bass bird.